and turn it into a moody, impressionistic painting using Topaz Studio 2. This is another one of my creative toolbox series. I haven't done one in a while, but we're starting out looking like this, and then we're going to finish up looking like this. So without any further ado, let's get started. I went ahead and duplicated the background layer and renamed it TS2 for Topaz Studio 2. Now we're going to go ahead and launch Topaz Studio 2 and we will get started. The first thing I want to do is, this is a stock image, and by the way, I'll link it in the description below. You can download it and follow along with me if you'd like to. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to add the AI clear filter just to denoise it and give it a little bit of sharpening. I think that'll help it out, but that is the first step. By the way, for the AI clear filter, remove noise, I just used auto, and enhance sharpness, I just left it at low and didn't touch anything else. And now I want to add a texture filter. That's our second step, the texture filter. And I'm looking for a specific filter. So if you come up to the little magnifying glass and click it here and type in desert, D-E-S-E-R-T, you're going to find it's going to be the first one here, Desert Gin. Now this is a texture that comes pre-packaged with Topaz Studio 2. So just give that a click. I changed the blend mode from normal to multiply. I think it's going to work really well on this particular image. And then I'm going to take my opacity and drag it up a decent amount to like around a 73. And already that's looking really cool. And it's giving it kind of a painterly quality to it. And I think I'll just take my saturation and just increase that saturation, giving it that nice warm tone. But I think maybe somewhere around right around there, like a 26 is good. So that's the second step. The detail here may be a little strong, so let's just pull that back a little bit. I'm going to pull this back, and I'm thinking right around there, like a minus 0.32. Yeah, not quite as detailed. I don't want to go overboard because I do want to turn this into a painting. In case you're asking yourself the question, hey Dave, why did you add a texture if you're turning this into a painting? And the reason being is, I find a lot of times when you add a texture, especially to this background, this background, as we can see here, it's pretty plain, right? But when you add that texture, you get a lot more interest in the background. And when you apply the painting filter, the impressionistic painting filter to this, it's going to make this look like paint strokes and things like that. So that's really my reasoning for doing this. And you'll see as we move along further here. Now that I've removed a little bit of the detail from the texture filter, I think I'd like to add some detail into the boat and the dock here. So to do that, I'm going to go and add a precision detail filter. Now, I'm just going to work with overall here. I'm keeping this very simple and basic. You don't need to overdo if you don't have to. So let's keep it basic. I'm just going to add a little bit of small detail, not much, like around a 0.12. How about a little bit of medium detail? And right around 51, 52, somewhere around in there. Now, I hate what it's happening to the rest of the image, okay? But don't worry about that. And I also think I want to lighten up the image a little bit. And I love the fact that we have the lighting section in this precision detail filter. So I want to take the midtones and I want to lighten up the midtones to somewhere right around here. Now, I'm only thinking about the boat and the dock here, okay? And the shadows, I'm just going to pull the shadows back just to darken them up a little bit. Just the shadows, not too much. To maybe, somewhere around like a minus 0.28, somewhere around in there. And now what I want to do is come to the layer mask. And we're going to take this layer mask. Now, right now, it's a white reveal all layer mask, so I want to hide the adjustment. So what I'm going to do is click these three dots and click invert. Now, that hides it from everything. Now, let's get a brush, and let's take the transparency and drag this the whole way to the right. And now what we're going to do is just paint that detail on the boat and on the dock here. So I'm just going to leave my radius where it is, and my softness where that's at. Edge aware is on, and I'm just going to start to paint over the boat here, maybe in the shadow in the water a little bit, and on the dock itself. And I love the overlay, which really is nice. Actually, I might paint it less on the dock area here. Right now I'm at full strength. Okay. And so what I think I'm going to do is pull this back to about, like about a 0.48, and I'm going to repaint the dock area. I don't want it to have quite as much detail as the boat does. I want to have more detail on the boat, and I'm also going to paint it on the boys standing on the edge of the dock right there. Yeah, see, a little bit less. Let's make my radius a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to paint some on the buoy right here. Right like so. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so I like that. And if you left click the canvas, you can see the before and after. So that's where we're at so far. And already this is looking really cool. Now this could be a really nice textured image. We could stop right here. But I want to go further for that moody, impressionistic painting look. And if we shut off the eye for the precision detail, we can see the before and the after. But see how that lightens the boat and the dock and also gives it a little bit of extra detail. Next up, the impression filter. So we're going to go ahead and add the impression filter here. Now, I'm not doing a whole lot in here. I'm changing, and already it looks really cool, right? We could quit right there, but I'm going to use a certain brush. And I like to just go through these different brushes and see how they interact with my image. And you can see them change, right? There's more of a pencil sketch type look. But I think I ended up on this Type 06. I thought that gave it a nice impressionistic look, and I love it right there. That's really nice. Now, I kept everything the same here. I didn't mess with the strokes. I thought everything looked good. Hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. I was really happy with it. Then I came the whole way down to texture. And the only thing I did here was change this solid to original. See these little areas that like white spots here, and there's a little bit of white flecks inside the paint here. I just wanted to get rid of those, and a good and fast and easy way to get rid of them is just click original, and that cleans it right up. And then while I'm in this texture section here, I thought, hey, what about a nice little texture? You could add like a canvas background texture or whatever. So I took the texture and I pulled the strength up to, well, I don't know, somewhere around like a 42. And that texture looks pretty cool right there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in. See that? It looks pretty nice. And it adds to this look. But then I was experimenting and I was starting to click around here. And when I got to the second one, Asphalt Damage, I thought, oh my, that looks really cool. Look at that. See when you zoom in? It just adds a really nice textured look to this image, and I really think it adds to the overall painterly abstract quality of the image. So I like that, and I thought, good enough. I'm done with the painting filter. Let's shut off the painting filter, the impression filter. There's the before, and here's the after. So I'm really loving this. But then I thought, what would it look like with a nice little border around it? I thought that might be a really nice little effect to add to this image. So I went to the add filter and added another texture filter. And if you come to group here, see right now we're in all. If you click the drop down menu and click on borders, it'll show you all your borders in here, okay? And there was one particular border I used called Border Fade 1. See if I can find it real quick. Right here, Border Fade 1. And if you can't find it, just click on that little magnifying glass right there, and you can type in the name, Border Fade 1. And I thought, ooh, that looks really cool, and I like it just the way it is. Now, whenever you use a border, it will come in the multiply blend mode at a 0.50 on the opacity. I thought that looks really nice. I love it, but I thought I'd like a little more detail on the edges here. So all I did was came down to where it says detail, and then I bumped the detail up to around 46 to 50, somewhere around in there. See that? See how that detail starts to really pop out? And I thought, man, that really adds to the look of this image here. So there's a 0.46. So here's the before the border, and here's the after the border. So I really like that. So I'm really happy with this so far. Well, I'm having too much fun and I don't want to quit, but I'm going to add one more filter. I'm going to add one more precision detail filter, and I'm only thinking about the boat itself. Now, I love what's happening in the background here, but I'm thinking about the boat and the dock. And so I'm going to go ahead and take my small detail and bring it up just a very little bit, like to a 0.07. and my medium detail, and I'm just working with overall, keeping this very simple and basic. This is all we need to do here. Taking this one up to about a 0.27, somewhere around in there. Don't worry about the background because we're going to mask it away from there. And then the large, I'm going to bring the large detail up just a little bit to like a 0.19, not much. And so we're going to go ahead and get a layer mask, and we're going to go ahead and invert that layer mask. Come to these three dots here. Let's invert it. And I'm just going to leave my brush the way it is, I think. And I'm going to get my brush here. First off, I have to get a brush. So click on brush and take the transparency, and let's take it the whole way to the right so it's a white swatch of paint here. And what we'll do is go ahead and paint that in. And so we'll leave the size just the way it is, and I'm going to mainly paint it on the boat area here and in the water right here. I think I'll do less on the dock. See, like that, really cool. And you know what? I might even leave it off the dock, but just for the heck of it, let's pull the transparency way back to like around a 0.29, somewhere in there, and let's just paint it on the dock area here. Okay, just a little bit on the dock. Yeah, that looks cool. And make my brush a little bit smaller, and I'll paint the buoy. Just a little bit on the buoy right here. Just like that. Okay, so here is the before, and here's the after. So I like that. You know, it just puts a little extra detail on there. Now, if you recall, I started out in Photoshop, so all I have to do is come here and click accept, which I'll do that in a second. But if you started out in Topaz Studio 2, which you could have used Topaz Studio 2 as a standalone program, all you need to do is come up here to File and come to Save Project or Save Project As and save it. Give it a name, all right? That's all you need to do. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and click Accept, and that'll send us right back into Photoshop. Now that we're here in Photoshop, let's take a look where we've come from. So we've come from here, a really cool image of this boat here. I really like this image a lot. And we took it into Topaz Studio 2, turned it into an impressionistic painting, and we ended up looking like this. So this was a lot of fun, and I really like our results. Hey, let me know in the comments section below the video what you think. I'd really like to hear from you. It's a lot of fun creating with Topaz Studio 2. Well, there it is, episode 21 of Topaz Studio 2, my creative toolbox series. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hey, if you enjoyed this video today, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon. And then every time I upload a new tutorial, you will be notified about it.